Good evening. My name is Ron. Welcome back to the channel. I got a fantastic video for you. I'm sure I don't really have much planned out, but bro, it is a nice, beautiful sunny day. Look, it's late. It's about 8:30 p.m. The sun is still shining. It's a beautiful, wonderful day, and I'm enjoying it quite immensely. I can't lie. I just got off of work and it's Sunday. Today is the Lord's Day. Sunday is the Lord's Day. Not Saturn's Day. Sunday. Because the Israelites worship Saturn. Right? Well, yeah, they did. You didn't know that? They worship Kronos, aka Saturn El, the god of the Phoenicians. That's who the Israelites worshipped. Ra-El. El. The name for God in the book of Genesis is El, the Elohim. That's the sons of God, the sons of El, Yahweh being one of them. El and Yahweh is not the same. Yahweh is Zeus, and El is his father Saturn, just like Greek myth. So, if you keep the Sabbath on Saturn's Day, that means you worship Saturn. It doesn't really mean that. I could just say that wind is really bad. Let me roll the window up. I really need to clean them windows, don't I? I do, bro. There's a lot of dust. They're doing all this construction nonstop. But, obviously, if you keep the Sabbath on Saturday, you don't worship Saturn because you don't even know what the hell is going on. You did not know the God of the Bible was Saturn. Maybe some of you did and you liked it, so you worshiped him and sacrificed your firstborn child to him, or a goat or a bull or something like that. Yeah, because Saturn and Zeus, they like goat sacrifices and bull sacrifices. That's what pagans do, bro. The Old Testament is paganism. It's not too different from Greek and Roman pagan. It's pretty much the same, actually, except for no statues allowed and God doesn't have a wife. All right, they got rid of that. All right. We still got to sacrifice bulls and goats. What's this paganism, for sure. You're not going to trick. I'm not sacrificing bulls and goats, bro. That's only something a goddamn heathen would do. Sacrifice a bull and a goat. But anyway, today is Saturday. And in the Hebrew language, the word Sabbath, Shabbat, yeah, y'all you goofballs out there like, Shabbat Shalom, praying hand emoji. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat comes from the number 7. El created so according to the story, he didn't do anything because he doesn't actually exist. It's mythology. It's not real. But I believe in Jesus. I believe in a real God, not a made-up one. I don't believe in fairy tales, okay? I believe in the real God, the God of Jesus. That's who I believe in. Let's get that right, bro. All right, the God of Jesus is not El. It's not, even though one gospel, was it Matthew and Mark? When he was on the cross, he cried out. When he was on the cross, he cried out to El. And El, by that time, did become a generic name for God. But originally, that was a name for Saturn. It eventually morphed into the word Allah. That's who the Muslims call God. They worship Saturn. The Kaaba thing, the cube, but it gets weird, bro. Somebody knows what's going on. But, what does that say? So Saturday goes back to the number 7. The number 7 in Hebrew is the same as... The word Sabbath in Hebrew comes from 7. All right, go look it up. I already made a video on it showing you the Hebrew characters. I'm just talking right now. And it's also the number 7, the word Sabbath, and the planet Saturn are all spelled very similar in Hebrew. Okay? Yeah. So that's why it's called Saturn's Day. It's literally Saturn's Day, the day of Saturn, the 7th day. All right, it doesn't get any more clear than that. All right, so it really doesn't get any more clear than that. All right, Saturday night, that's where everybody goes out and party. So that's not the God of the Christians. So you can see why Christians did not keep the Sabbath on Saturday. You have some Christians, they're like, the Shabbat Shalom Christians. I'll keep the law. Jesus taught the Torah. No, he didn't. Crazy people. Fucking hell. Jesus was working on the Sabbath all the time. Like today, I worked on the Sabbath. I just worked. Sunday is supposed to be the day of the Lord according to the Christians. It's the Sunday's the day of the sun. It represents light. Okay, we're supposed to walk as children of light, not as children of the dark, demonic planet Saturn with the hexagon on its pole. Maybe all planets have hexagons on the poles. I don't know. That's just creepy. I'm not like saying the planet Saturn itself is evil. Okay, I'm not being racist against planets. I enjoy the planets. I like them. I don't worship them. Or originally, Saturn was not a planet. Originally, according to the Phoenician historian Sanchuniathon, all these gods were originally men who were deified after their deaths and later associated with the heavenly bodies. That's what really happened. So a lot of these guys, they were originally based upon men. Okay, you didn't know that, did you? It's not real, bro. Jesus is real though. He was an actual historical person. We can prove that. And he talked to real God. He said, you know where God's at? Inside of you, not in the temple. Okay, you don't have to sacrifice bulls and goats. But anyway, I work today. It's supposed to be the Sabbath, right? Or some people like, oh, the Sabbath is according to the lunar calendar. If you keep the Sabbath according to the lunar calendar, you're still worshiping Saturn, okay? Or unknowingly, I'm not saying you actually worship Saturn. I'm not a dick like that. Or you just don't know what's going on, man. A lot of you guys, you have good intentions. You want to keep the old ways that you think in the old past. Nah, Jesus came to get rid of them old paths and them old ways. The hell with the goddamn Sabbath. Hey, you know the Romans called the Jews lazy because they had to keep the Sabbath. Oh, they don't want to work. They got to take it. I agree with them. Is that a bad take? Let me know if you think that's a bad take. Because, bro, I've worked like 2 weeks straight in a row. I'm full of it. I was sitting around at home today restless. I was like, I got to get out of the house, bro. I'm full of energy. It's Sunday. Usually I take Sundays nice and slow. You know, try to get a day of rest. But I'm like, fuck rest, bro. I got a life to get in order. I ain't got time for no rest. And that's what I was thinking. And it came to me, you know, life is work. How you gonna have a day of rest? Bro, you're just kidding yourself. You ain't no rest. I ain't never got no, barely. You know, if you want to get ahead, you ain't gonna get no days of rest. You take a day of rest, especially if you got a big family. Let's see your ass take a day of rest at the house. Little kids tearing up the house. I don't know. I don't have that problem. And actually, my children, they weren't little heathens. But I'm just going by what I see in other people's houses. All right, so yeah, day of rest. The Romans called the Jews lazy. So yeah, taking days off of work, that's lazy Jew shit. And Jews don't never work. They're lazy. So that's lazy Jew shit. Yeah, I was thinking about it too. You know, people complain. They'll say America disrespects the Sabbath. But you know, most people in America get 2 days off of work a week. To me, that's lazy. You don't need 2 days off, bro. Stop being lazy. Okay, it's like, if you got the money, bro. If you got money, look, if I had money, I'm not going to a job every day. But when I'm at home, I can't go to sleep at night. I'm always working and tinkering on something, you know. Always got my tools out, got to fix some shit around the house. Just constantly working. And if my shit doesn't get fixed, then we got problems. So a lot of times I can't take no goddamn days off. My life would be in ruins. That's the same thing Jesus was teaching. He said the Sabbath was made for the man, not the man for the Sabbath. Jesus worked on the Sabbath all the time. Okay, he didn't give a goddamn about no Torah. Okay, he could care less, bro. And the Torah says if you break the Sabbath, you get put to death. There ain't no getting around it. Like, oh, I give Jesus was an exception to the rule. No, bro. He disrespected that Sabbath. He didn't worship Saturn. He worshiped the real God. You guys ever think about what the real God? You guys don't even question nothing. It's in the Bible. The Bible's 100% truth. Like, that's a ridiculous statement within itself. Of course, there's truth in the Bible. But that's just, I'm not even going to entertain that statement right now. That's ridiculous. Okay? Ridiculous. You know we have computers now. We can search that thing quick. We can compare scriptures. We can look up Greek. We got computers, bro. I can look up the Greek. I can look up the Hebrew. I can compare the surviving manuscripts from the 4th to 6th centuries. We can do a lot of stuff. And we can find a lot of problems. Not problems, but issues. So, man, my whole point, do not let your religious zealousness, is that a word? Zealousness? Don't let your religion get in the way of your life. Okay? You people sabotage yourself with your religion. Look, just love the God. If you love God, love God. You ain't got to prove to God nothing with all you got to prove is show him you love him by treating people right, doing the right thing. You got to do all these goofy ass, got to keep this holiday. The hell with these holidays. I'm tired of holidays, bro. One more goddamn holiday. I'm going to lose it, bro. Fuck, you can't go to work on the holidays. Goddamn stock market's closing on a holiday. Got to go to some dumbass dinner on a holiday. Like, please, I'd rather go to work. Like on church. Here it is at the Sabbath, the church. Church, Judaism, Christianity, whatever. You work all week. You get a day off on Sunday or Saturday. But then they make you go to church or a synagogue. Look, I'd rather go to work. Okay? I would rather go to work than go to church. That's fucking torture, bro. I'd rather be waterboarded, bro. Like, seriously, I'd rather be electrocuted. Like, no, I don't know about that. I don't want to die. But, man, like, I just got sick. I just got nauseous thinking about it, bro. It's like, if you really care about getting a day off of work, then why the hell I got to go to church on Sunday? Explain that. And you got to torture me with your slow speech and your misunderstanding. No, you don't even know the scriptures. You're going to torture me on a Sunday when I'm supposed to be getting my rest. How are you getting rest? Okay, your body might be resting. Your physical being might be getting... No, but your spiritual and mental being is getting fucking tortured, getting obliterated. You done tore the hamstring and the ACL of your spirit going to church. God damn, you getting injuries. Okay, now you out. You done missed the whole postseason. It's like that. All right, I'm done. I'm gone.